time to get out of here. A lot more refreshed, tell you. A lot more, like, my skin is looking good. I know, yeah, man, isn't it? You stay there, no? I hope you stay there, will you? No? Ah, yeah. But yeah. I'm red hot. It's one of those things, people say, yeah, but Mike, everyone cleans their teeth. Not everyone does. It's mad, isn't it? Everyone goes over to leaving the teeth to rot. It's actually sun cream. It's actually sun cream, but yeah. Every time we shower, we put sun cream on. Not this mentality whereby, you know, you should go down the route of wearing this and that, and then this and that. The amount of women that I know that put acid or a version of acid on the face because they think it's good for you. I rest my case. Like, the more ugly a woman gets, then the better, because they then can sell more to her. It's mad how the psychology works between a woman and a man. A man's basic. A man just goes down the route of saying, right, you know what, sun cream, fine, moisturiser. But the difference between obviously women's healthcare and skincare is mad. If you make a woman look more ugly by trashing her skin, then she'll buy more stuff to put on her face. So it's the reverse psychology factor. And it's the truth. Like, you know, I know, I've been there, you know what I mean? It's mad. I I understand the concept of selling a female product. Make her feel insecure, and she spends thousands. And guess what? It's not always her money. No, it's a lot of the time it's a partner's money. And it's interesting. Really interesting. But these are facts of life, unfortunately. I try and express these to people and say, look, this is how life is, and this is how people think life is like. I know what life's like. I've studied it. I spent years and years and years working out life, and I've actually now got to a level where I totally 100% get it. So, anyway, it's very messy in here today, I must admit. Like, very, very messy. Sure what the outcome is going to be today, because obviously we haven't paid for this yet, so we'll see. Thing is, we're not raising in the hotel, so they might charge a lot more money. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. How are you? You alright? Tell you what, there's interesting. Do you know on the upstairs? They had in reception. They had a little fridge. Do you know, they had a little fridge in reception, and they had like the little towels in the fridge.
Oh, do they upstairs?
Yeah. Do you know the dehydration? Do you know the dehydration like little area? Tell you what, that'd be amazing here if you could get there's a little fridge in here.
Be honest, it's not usually that hot.
Because really.
What's
with the water? The water's really warm today.
What, the swimming pool or the jacuzzi?
The jacuzzi.
Yeah, the jacuzzi. So I've turned it down, but it's just taking forever. I mean, I come on shift at 2.
Yeah.
And then I've turned it down then, and it's just, it is going down.
Fair play. No, it's not normally like that. So once I got in, I was like to myself, like, I've had a really cold shower before I got in or something, or what? Got in, I was like burning. But no.
But yeah, sorry about today. But yeah, I will. We did have in the gym.
So yeah, sorry.
We got one in the gym.
Was that water and towels?
Yeah.
Fridge.
Yeah.
So yeah. Fair play. It's in the gym, like.
Yeah. There's one in the.
I think I'd like to try and build, and to try and build. I don't know. It's just anything that's not really costing a lot of money, because it doesn't cost money really, does it really? But like, it's just that extra bit of like.
Little something.
Yeah. So there's a little fridge in there, and a few little like ice cold towels, especially when you come out the sauna.
Yeah.
People just love it.
Yeah.
So.
I will bring it up.
Yeah. I'll see you again, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it. And that is how you would do it. Do it in ginger tea. Ginger tea now. Sit down next to my fire. I'm actually going to sit in my King of the Castle chair. I do quite like this place. It's like King of the Castle, Mike. Well, all I can say is this. Let's be realistic about this. Let's be a realist. I put a lot of money through Hilton. So it's nice to get a bit of freedom and a bit free. But yeah. So she came into work at 2 o'clock. we arrived at 2 o'clock. So there was a period whereby she wasn't there. So I think we were 2:10. I think we arrived. So it was interesting. So obviously she was late for work. That's why I walked straight in. Didn't pay for it. But if this is my business, I'd be all really upset with that, because that's somebody that's £25 to £40 not in my bank, which I should have had in my bank if, for instance, this is my business. It just shows, doesn't it, when someone's late, how people slide between the lines. So obviously this is a bit of a learning lesson. It's bearing in mind I put a lot of money through the Hilton anyway, so it just doesn't really matter. But think about the bigger picture. It's interesting, isn't it, how the general populace can really affect and damage customer service levels and income to managing directors and CEOs of businesses that put a large amount of money into places to actually make them actually what they are today. Like this chair that I'm sat in, it's cost money. Do you know what I mean? Everything you've seen in the world's cost money. You know, that's cost money. That's cost money. That's cost money. That's cost money. Yeah, everything you see has cost money. So when someone comes in like me, who comes and rinses the living shit out of it because we can, it's not fair, is it really? It's not fair. So, but this is actually a form of theft. What I've done today is actually a form of theft. We did speak to the manager last night, and he did say that obviously if I stayed in another Hilton hotel just down the road, he couldn't accommodate me here last night. So he did say to me that if I got another Hilton hotel down the road, then I could come and use the spa facilities today. So to be fair with you, you know what I mean? It's, you know, I haven't really been unfair to the world today. But if I was in house, he would have had £120, £140 hotel room. Plus I would have come down to use the spa as well. Plus I'd have had drinks here, breakfast here. Well, breakfast is free of charge, isn't it? But you see how things operate. So there's actually quite a lot of people that actually live in hotels. People don't realise it, but there's actually quite a lot of people that live in hotels, and it's mainly for the fact that it's just high class, high standard of living. People that obviously can't afford buy houses and get mortgages, and that's just, it kills me really, because I really want to go into schools and start teaching and saying, guys, this is how to live life. This is how to be high. This is how to be high value. This is how to actually go down the route of actually really understanding life. Obviously, you know, dating and meeting a decent, respectable partner. Not by going down the route of having, you know, a little social, you know, you live at home with your parents, then you go down moving out, you know, you're moving out into a little like rented apartment or something to try and get some freedom, which then you don't really get freedom because you're renting. You got to then work every single day, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, to be able to get a job into and pay for the blinking apartment and rent. And then you're going to go down the route then obviously thinking, well, you know, can't quite afford to do this, can't quite afford to do that. You know, for me, it's different. I just think, fuck it. Like, and having no assets is a key. It is a key to success. You actually make money, and you actually save money, you invest money, and actually you can then buy assets with money that you have, not going down the route saying, I can't afford this, let me rent it. Because that's what a mortgage is. You're renting your house until you can afford to pay it 6 years later. Well, sorry, not quite 6 years later, but you understand, 40 to 50 years later, you'll eventually own the house. And by that time, you've worked Monday to Friday, every single week. And, you know, maybe just on a Friday, you might just be able to afford a chippy. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm not saying this life's for everybody, but it's more about understanding. Like if I had kids and I had a daughter, and my daughter met somebody like myself who was heavily invested in success, heavily invested in, you know, persevering forward, you know, and really spending time living the high life, then you know what? You know what I mean? She's safe, she's looked after, she's catered for. And I just don't get it. I don't get it how we go down the route of meeting average people meet average people. Average people meet average partners. And to be realist about it, if I met an average woman, it becomes a problem. Because then she would go down the route of pulling me down to her level. And this is the reason why I don't associate with women. Because I haven't got the mentality. You know, if a woman can't go down the route doing the basics to looking after herself and keeping herself, you know, pushing forward in the world today, then why should I spend my time trying to go around looking after her and caring for her? And a lot of people have the different mentality of saying, well, Mike, to be realistic, she's offered you and given her body to you, so straight away, you know, it shouldn't be like that, should it really? But that's how it is. To be a realist in the world today, it's a transaction. Like, it's not love. It's all a transaction. You know, if she's prepared to go down the route of handing over her body to you, then straight away, that's the least you can do is to do A, B, C, and D. And that's where I think the dynamics needs to change. I think more women need to be more self-sufficient, more understanding, but also as well as they need to not settle for less. And which means that if they settle for less, that means then there's going to be no change in the world. If women change the mentality and said, right, fuck it, we're only going to go down the route of dating and marrying the rich, it then changes all the poor and poverty people not to have kids, which then means then shit doesn't breed more shit. And that's what I've established. Like, you know, we have this mentality whereby it's my God-given right to have kids. And it's like, no, it's not your God-given right to have kids. It's your God-given right to be a provider, to be successful, to be obviously somebody that actually cares and understands. And this is the realization of life. Unfortunately, when you actually get into a female's head and understand what a female is actually what she's doing, then you realise that actually there's no hope. There's no hope. You can't change it. Quite a lot of females want experiences. Like, they want to be able to have whereby they can get onto a private jet and they can go and spend a couple of days away. That's an experience. That's an experience that she wouldn't ever be able to get with most people. You know, she wants a guy who, you know, is going to be respectful, who's going to go down the route of obviously, you know, cooking, you know, having dinner with, having intellectual conversations. And the problem is all them sort of women are actually busy working, making money, starting big businesses, you know, being high value. So it's interesting. It's all very interesting how, like, you know, the philosophy of the world is. Well, anyway, I rest my case. It's the whole thing about life is divide and conquer. You know, you didn't go down the route getting the Roman emperor, going down the route of dating, you know, and marrying, you know, poverty women. It just didn't work. So, it's mad, isn't it, when you look at obviously other species. You look at bees, and how bees work as a team, and how they have, like, you know, a queen bee, and they have a load of males, and they all work for the queen bee. And it's a similar mentality to life as human beings, but in the opposite way around. It's like, to be a realist, men rule. They always have done, always will do. And, you know, it's like, I know I always say that men and women are equal. In my head they are, but in the reality of life, men rule. Men have the ultimate say in everything. And unfortunately, the only way you can do that is to get women that level up to men. And that's the only way it works. Like, it's a man has an overall choice if he marries. A man has an overall choice if he goes down the route of pushing forward in the world today. Unfortunately, it's either a woman either accepts or she doesn't. And it's a realization of life. It's the truth though, isn't it? It's factual, really. You can't change it. It's the human nature. Well, it's animal nature. It's biological time clock within human beings and any form of animal. It's like a survival mechanism. but really men choose their ultimate partner. Anyway. It's nice to be sat here just having like a little ginger tea. It's funny, you build all this. Like this whole of this area, you could build. You buy a warehouse, build it. That's your lifestyle. That's one of the things about a lot of life's fate. Like everything in life's fate. Nothing's real. When I say nothing's real, you might see a physical book, you might see a physical chair, you might see a physical like objects around, but actually what you see is actually it's a real, what's the word, I'm just trying to explain this in the sort of mentality that others can understand. The only thing that I can see and hear is what's around me and then what I hear. I don't know what's upstairs. I don't know what's in the car park. I don't know anything about the rest of the world other than I'm just sat here right now, just taking in what I see. And we're all in like little like simulations of life whereby we don't really understand what the actual is going on in the bigger world because we're all in this like some more little like simulation of what I'm seeing right now this minute. And one thing I might do is just get my phone out, scan through social media and suddenly see, oh, great, there's a building collapsed in Manchester. Has it? I don't know. Oh, maybe it has happened. Okay, great. Well, I see a load of posts about it. But then a lot of the time, things happen, stories that are not factually based. So if I hear about a building collapsing in Manchester, then there'll be a lot of people that will then film it and know about it. But if I was to go down there creating a fake story and post it out there, there'd be millions and millions and millions of people that will just basically accept it and read it and go, oh my God. But actually it was a fake story. And there's money in fakeness. There's no money in capturing a moment right now, this minute. It's all about fakeness. You're coming down the road, dropping a building to the floor over, oh no, let's say for instance, every single minute of every single day. But what you can do is you can create a load of fake stories every single minute of every single day. So think about the bigger picture. Would I much rather get 1,000 views on a story about a building collapsing every now and again? Or would I much rather get 1,000 views per minute on several different thousands of stories being said out? And also, as what I also see about the media as well is that what the media do a lot of the time, people won't accept this or believe this, but they'll get 6 points that are factual, and they'll also then go down the route of adding in 2 points that are not factual. So straight away, what happens is you get a story that's based off a factual backing for people to back up the facts behind it. But then they'll also add in several other facts that are incorrect and that are dismissible. But actually, the fake facts are what people comment about. So what you've actually done is you've actually established a story between the 6 real facts, but they're just very, very insufficient. Like it's just, you could just go down the route saying, let's say for instance, somebody crashes and you could say, well, if the car wasn't black and it was white, then they might not have crashed or whatever. It's a very, very insufficient comment. But that would take massive racism upon the public domain, and that's how it is. We change the dynamics between some of this that's actual factual and some that's actually happened, and we add into it some misleading information to make something exponentially grow forward. So you could say, an Aldi, was a man was killed in an Aldi driving 110 miles an hour over Mancunia Way, for instance, and people will see that and go, oh yeah, well we know about that because it was closed yesterday, etc., etc. And then somebody then will go down the route then of adding in something on the lines of, than being on the mobile phone or live streaming, or it'd be a fact that they can't back up. But then every single person will go down the route of saying, "What an idiot! If he wasn't on the phone, he wouldn't have crashed." And that's how things operate in the world today. It's the small basic populace in the world today that are just thick, and they don't look at the factuals, the facts and the story behind it. They go down the route of taking a small snippet of something and go down the route of saying, "Well, that was why that happened." Next minute, the road's back open again. He's died. He's passed away. The car's gone to the scrapyard, and guess what? The story, it's got millions of views. Guess what? We've now moved on to the next story, and then next story. And it's mad, isn't it, when you look at the whole generation of fakeness that we look at in today's society. It takes me 30 seconds to go on the route of going live, saying what I want to say, go offline, and then suddenly that'll blow up because people are just kind of like, "Mike, who are you?" Like, there are people who have said to me this. They've actually said to me, they see me and they've said to me, "Who are you? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you?" I'm just kind of like, I'm just a human being. I'm just a guy. I'm nothing special. I'm just a pleasant, nice, interactional guy. And it's interesting because people who see me around women, obviously, again, if I was to post, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it for a bit. Maybe I should go down with having like 6 or 7 weeks of just posting me with women, and just to wind people up really, and just to go down the route of saying, well, actually, anybody can do what I do. It's not hard. It's not rocket science, but it's more about obviously interactional. It's all more like it's the respect aspect of it as well. It's like for me, it's not seediness in the sort of way of more like just hanging around spa hotels, having drinks, just interacting on a level whereby it's just human nature to be nice, considerate, and to be, and that's the way I think it is. Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it to actually prove a point and just to say this is the reality of life. This is what life should be like. To actually then go down the route of saying the issue I've got, the problem I've got with it, and I know this is obviously the way I'll say this now because I'll say it before it happens. If I did that, people will get to know me very quickly. But also as well at the same time, it only takes one person to be unfair. One female to be unfair, saying he did this to me, he did that to me, he did this to me, and vice versa, on stream, for that to get clipped and posted millions of views. And then that'd be it then. It'd be like, it'd be my word against her word, and then I'd be the one then that will get penalised for it. And I'd call it out now. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I now went and did it, if I actually now do this, if I actually say this now, and then I went down the route of having this as a dated, timestamp dated, and and then went down the route of actually doing it. I'm telling you one thing, it wouldn't take long before somebody was trying to be unfair to me, to try and, trying to be, nasty. And I'd be like, right, well, that's not me. But that's how the world is, unfortunately. The world's a nasty place. We try and, so I have to associate myself around areas whereby, you wouldn't get this place. You wouldn't get this place in a down, a negative area. All these people in the world today, and I think sort of like, again, I don't get it. You've got these like Palestine marches going on, and you got all these like in the UK over this last year, it's been pretty intense. And to go down the route of the religious side of things, there's no difference. There's no difference between Christians and Muslims. And when you start to go down the route of like, look at obviously, life in society, there's no difference. There's no difference between black and white. That's it. There's no difference. The problem you got with it, and this is how I've been explaining to people, is it's about cultural backgrounds. It's about cultural differences. There's no difference between black and white people. It's just a shade. So straight away, you got to look at the bigger picture. I work with a large amount of black people. I work with them. Some of the technicians that I work with are like amazing. And so yeah, you can't go down the route of saying that black people are thick, because it's not the way. What you got to understand though is it's about the understanding of life. It's about the realization that actually there's no difference. But the bigger picture is what we can pull off together is mental. It's insane. So, with religion particularly as well, there's no difference between religion. You believe in something else and I believe in something else. Fine. I don't mind. And yeah, just be happy. Believe, be happy and content. But it's the understanding that we've got some nasty people on our streets today in the UK. And we talk about Hamas, and we talk about ISIS, and we understand these things that are happening in the world today. ISIS is a thing. Hamas is a thing. It's a group, and the thing about what they do, they're a silent group. Now, if you're vocal, you're not dangerous. But if you're silent, you're dangerous. And these are people now who are silent. You don't know who these people are. You won't know. I'm telling you, you won't know. But the problem you got is in other countries, these groups associate, they build. Now, when you got these people in the UK on our streets of London, Manchester, they start in the bigger cities and they build people together. But what they do is they build it as religious, like they build it as a religious thing. For me, I know a huge amount of Muslims, and I also know a huge amount of British people who are very, very nice people, like very nice people. They interact, they live in civilization, they've got families, they've got kids. It's a very, very small amount of people who are negative in the world today. Like a very small amount of people. And that's the difference with life. Like, there's more good in the world than there is actually bad. But the problem is, when you look at the reality of life in anything, everything good turns bad. Every sort of like relationship is good at the start, turns bad. Every family is good at the start, it turns negative. Work colleagues are the same. It always turns like nice. Oh, thank you very much for my job. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll turn up and I'll do X, Y, and Z. I'll have coffee. I'll clean the toilet. I'll clean the floor. I'll work long hours. Everything's all like nicey, but everything comes to an end at some point. And this is the realization of life. The police, you think the police are doing good. Yeah, the police are doing good. But the problem is, everything that's when you start to be a police officer, you feel that you're doing good for the world. But then when you start to become, obviously, into the clickiness and the people related to policing, you then realise that actually it's corrupt. You think about governments. You go into government and want to go into power, you want to go in there and change the world for the better of humanity. But actually, to be fair, you realise that actually, nah, it's not what you want. And that's what I've realised in the world today. We live a fake life. All of us live fake lives. Partners, it's a transactional thing. It's not love. I've been trying to explain this to people. Everything's about a transaction. What can I gain from you? What are you going to gain from me? And that's the hard reality of it, really. When you actually understand the way the world operates on a mass scale, you then start to realise that actually, I get it. I understand. I totally 100% get it. So when people turn to me and say, mental health and this, that, and the other, and all this religion background and things, and everyone wants to do good in the world today. Really? Does anybody ever want to do good in the world today? Not really. So in the actual reality is it's like the left and the right. The left just say, leave it until it's a problem. The right go, let's change it. That's the difference. You can't. It's the only way that you can establish what left wing or right wing is. The right wing want to change things. They want the better for the world today. If you're left wing, I'm sorry, but you're average. And you've got to change that mentality. I need in the world more right wing people who are outspoken, who obviously are able to change, build technology. They always say about Labour being a slave force. And that's what schools are based upon. Schools, colleges. I suppose colleges aren't really. I suppose colleges are a bit different. But the problem I've got with schools and colleges and universities is if I want to go to university and want to learn a degree of knowledge, I shouldn't have to apply. I shouldn't have to go down the route of saying, can I be part of this course? Sorry, sir, but you've got failed GCSEs, you can't go to university. And that's the problem we have today. like, it's the realization of life whereby you shouldn't be stopped. And that's what the Matrix, that's what the agents of the Matrix are. And that's what I see around the place. You know, having the woman on reception saying, sorry, sir, you can't live stream. If she knew who I was and she realized that actually the amount of money I've got available to me and the resources, she wants to speak to me like that. She'd be really nice to me. Like, really, really nice to me. She'd be like, Mike, no problem at all. Yep, no problem at all. I'll sort a fridge out for you. The realization is, that's how life is. Money speaks. Money speaks in everything. It always has done, always will do. Power is money. Money is power. And obviously, money isn't evil. Because when you look about money, what is money? It's the person behind the money that's the evil person, not money. Money isn't evil. And this is the realization of life. Had that conversation with her today, to saying, guys, you know what? Maybe I'm having a fridge on the reception down here. Yeah, but you know, there's one in the in the gym. You know, will she make it happen? Will she maybe? Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll just go down the route of saying nice to my face and then done. Had a thing last night. I was working last night, and me and a few colleagues were doing we're actually doing quite a nice event actually. It was for a brand, but it was a big brand, and they're well known brand. We do a lot for them. And anyway, coming to the end of the gig, like obviously we needed coffees because we got a long night ahead of us. So I didn't finish till late last night. But yeah, smashed the event. Programming was amazing. There's no issues. Everyone was really happy. Now, the amount of money that job was worth compared to spending a whole week of working, like, why would you do it? Why would you do Monday to Friday doing a normal job when actually you can go down the route of doing something that's really, really exponentially growing humanity forward? You know, and thinking, well, actually, you know what? Why would I do it? I'd much rather spend a week building something that's going to be added value to people's lives, added value to a brand that's going to grow bigger again, than I would do if I went down the route of thinking, right, well, let's actually go and get a normal job and let's just work Monday to Friday and just, you know, be a cleaner. There's robots out there that does cleaning, and that's the difference of things. Right now, having a robot that comes in here, sits on the floor, you turn it on, it cleans the floor for you. It's so much easier. Like, why on earth would you ever do it by hand? Why on earth would you ever get a human to do it? Because they're going to turn up, they're going to be sick, they're going to call in, they're going to be late for work, they're going to do a shit job. And this is all the problem we have in the world, is people just don't care. There's always been this mentality, which I think has to, this mentality has to change now. And I don't agree with it. I don't condone it either. Obviously, we are in a different generation of life. And back in the day, there was this mentality whereby black nations were the slave race, and that's what happened hundreds of years ago, 200 years ago. And this is the problem we've got. We're taking, in reality of life, we're actually taking historical data into modern day civilization, and we have to stop this mentality. We have to realize that, yes, it's happened in the past. However, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. Yes, there's been a lot of lives lost. I don't get that. We're now in this world of where we're multicultural now. We're in this world whereby slavery doesn't have to exist. The slavery in white, the slavery in black, it doesn't matter. It's regardless. We can't go down the route of, it's white people are not superior and black people aren't superior. We are a mixed society, and we are a mixed race of people now who could all work together. And I've been trying to express this for quite some time, but people just don't get the whole vibe. It was like today, I just talked to I was talking to a black woman who was driving, and I just got into my car on live stream, and she brakes, and her like brake pad's like squeaking, and I just said to her, I said, you need to get your car sorted out. And she knows there's something wrong. She's not thick, but I think it's a monetary issue. If you can't afford to drive, if you can't afford to keep the upkeep on your vehicle, then don't drive. Because you're not only affecting your life, but you're affecting your life, your family's life, you're affecting other people's lives just because you're selfish. And it's not about the selfish people in white, the selfish people in black, the selfish people in mixed. It doesn't matter. You can't go down the route of saying that certain people are more clued up in the world and some people aren't. It's more about education. If people aren't educated, if you come from a third world country, like people do, and change your mentality. Go down the route of thinking, great, I've got toilet paper, great. So instead of using, you know, a Costa cup and water, do me a favor, use the toilet paper, clean yourself with toilet paper, and then what you do then is you then go home and have a shower, and make yourself hygienic. And this is the whole problem with civilization that we have in the world today. It's madness. Because we don't understand. We take a third world culture and bring it into a first world culture. And, you know, the amount of places I go to, like, I go to the toilet and there's like a little like coffee cup next to the toilet. And it's like, I understand, I get it, I know why it happens. If you Google it and find out why and other cultures operate, I understand, I get it. But is it hygienic? This is the issue we got. I just don't get it. For some people, it is. But if they went down the route of understanding the realization to life and going down the route of thinking, you know, you can't bring third world cultures into the first world into a first world and expect everything to be hunky dory. In third world countries, people get raped. So what does that mean? You take somebody from a third world country and put them into a first world country. They don't go down the route overnight thinking, great, I shall not rape. They go down the route looking at in a first world country at all the women and think, great, you know what, she's hot and sexy, I rape her. That's the problem in civilization. And it's kind of like, no. It's madness. It's not what we do in the UK. It's not what we do in a first world country. A woman has just as much right as a male. And males need to change the dynamics. If a man isn't a predator, then it changes the dynamics. If a man is high value and goes down the route of living a high value lifestyle, women flaunt themselves around them. It's how it is. It's through the realization of life. But we have this mentality whereby the poor don't understand. And this is the issue. We've got to change the dynamics. You know, men need to be protectors of women. We need to go down the route of protecting women. That's what we need to do. And in a first world country, we've been like that. We haven't got buildings like this because we've been living in a third world country with the mindset of a third world nation. The realization that we live in a first world country is because we can build buildings, we can interact, we can have meaningful connections. I'm not saying that it's love. I'm not saying it's the way that man and woman works is it's a meaningful connection, and that meaningful connection works when two parties agree. And you've got to have those two parties that agree. That's how it is. And what I'm now established in the UK is we're not able to function. We've got a new generation now who are going around as masked men now. And that's what the generation is. They don't want to show the faces. You look at protests. You look at the bigger protests. You look at protests that when you look at protests that happen in London, and you go down the route looking at civilization, and you look at obviously human beings. For instance, you look at obviously what Tommy Robinson did. He pulled off an event of a lifetime in the UK. None of the British citizens were masked. We didn't even start the war. We didn't even start anything. We didn't do anything. But then when you come across let's say for instance, the protests that are masked, the protests that they tend to live they tend to live a life whereby they sleep during the day and they're up at night. That's the lifestyle that they portray. And that's kind of like the dark culture of the world today. When I say dark culture, I'm not talking about skin color now. It's about mindset. It's about being in a first world country mindset and a third world country mindset. It's divide and conquer. And this is the thing, you see, for me. Like, I'm a very, very high, when I say high value man, I understand life to a level where a lot of people don't understand. But I've also had to go down the route of putting myself in a level in life whereby I've had to understand what rights and wrongs are, what I can get away with. And it's I'm trying to put these into words that are like, when you're talking to the most populace on the internet, you've got to be very careful on what you say, because people go down the route of being they can literally overnight, a clip can be taken and it could be sent to millions and it becomes a problem. We kind of like believe that, like, going down the route of having civilizations whereby we have like youth clubs available to people, and we have like this mentality whereby there's entertainment to try and keep people together, to try and keep people in a safe environment, but it doesn't work. And that's the sad thing about it. Charities don't work. And I think for the majority of what I think people need to understand is it's about the people you associate with. It's about the people that you are around on a daily basis. It's about the people that obviously, you know, Elon Musk associates himself with people of high value, associates himself with engineers, associates himself with, you know, people like Nikola Tesla's, creators, inventors. Those are the people that we associate with. I'm a computer programmer. I do a huge amount of programming. And my network around me is, it's a very, very bizarre, when I say bizarre, it's a very, very bizarre industry to be in, because programming can be done for two things. It can be done for positive and negative. But the downside to programming is you don't just go down the route of learning programming on the basis of the fact you think to yourself, right, I want to be a computer programmer. The issue is, and this is how I've done it, and this is how I think people need to understand it. Back in the day, I used to do a large amount of hacking systems. Now, I had a lot of drive for that, because I could hack websites, I could pull information from databases, I could find out people's names and addresses. I could go down the route of looking at the government websites and the government databases, and I could get into that. And the problem is when you start, it gets the sort of level of life whereby you do one thing, then you educate yourself on another thing, then you educate yourself on another thing, and before you know it, you educate yourself to such a level whereby you understand that there's nothing you can't do. So when you look at software, you can then go down the route of understanding software to a level whereby you understand software and you understand how things are coded and how things operate. Then when you start adding hardware to it, you then realize, actually, you know what? If I press this button, I want it to run the script. If I want to do this, I want to do this. So when you start incorporating robotics into it, it then changes your dynamics again in the way you think. And back in the day, yeah, I used to do quite a lot of hacking. I used to hack systems. I used to go on the internet, literally go on the internet and dial it into things that I half the time didn't even know what I was dialing it into. I saw something on the global network, which technically the internet's a wire, basically. And if you understand what I mean by that, the internet isn't a cloud. We think in the human nature, we think the internet's a cloud, but it's not. The internet's a wire. And when I say a wire, it's a fine line. It's a wire, and you have like servers off the wire and clients, and that's how the internet actually works. If I'm a client and I'm sat on the network, I'm a client viewing servers. But if you actually understand what a server is and actually understand servering, if you build your own server and sat on the wire, which is technically the internet, a server is what actually does the damage. We use servers. We tend to go down the route of having clients that link to a server which is, again, goes connects to the internet, and that's what we actually end up using to build scripts. And my phone's a client. It's not a server, it's a client. But servers are actually the ones that actually, again, really run the internet. So if I build a server which might just host a few web files on there for Google, when you go into Google and type in google.com, that'll then change the word Google to numbers, which is an IP address. It'll then go onto the global network, onto the wire, find the global network of the server, and it'll go down there saying, right, well, here's the web files here's the web files I want to show you. That's how the internet works. But if you've got a server that's got a processor or GPU in it, and you've got one client that sits on the network that uses the internet, technically, when you look at the bigger picture, it's kind of like, it's a super fast website. So one person connects the server, pulls the data, views the data. That's called public. That's what we call as like a public folder. But then we understand layers behind the public folder. So we have the public layer, and then we have obviously private layers, which are encrypted then, which then means that they're like login areas. It's all based off layers. So layer 1 is public. Layer 2 might be a password to log into it, to actually get into the actual personal information. And we basically then build more layers for more encryption. So you might find out that we might go into the public layer as one. The public layer, which is the viewing layer, in the second layer. Then that gives you more information, and then you then go down the route of looking at the bigger picture. And as we add more encryption, you might open a page up that asks for your information, your email address and things, and that might be another layer again. So straight away, you've got to go through several layers to be able to get the right information. But let's say, for instance, I've got 500 people. If I've created something that I think people are going to use, if I've got one person using it, then fine, it's going to be super fast. But that's whereby you then realise very quickly that the GPU and the processing in that, again, in that machine, that web server, can only accept, let's say, 200 people using it at any given time. So we then think to ourselves, right, well, actually, if 200 people can use it at any given time, let's get out of the route, get a fast internet connection. And let's say I've got people of A, B, C, D, E, and F. So A, B, C, D, and E, F, every single millisecond, they're receiving, well, they're not receiving data, but they will send a request in. So google.com, enter, that's a request. They pressed enter, basically request. Within milliseconds, it's gone down the route saying, right, well, how many milliseconds are there in a second? So we'll give that second to him, that second to her, that second to him, that second to her, and that's how it works. So you can never actually get anybody, well, using a web server, you can't actually get every single person to connect at any one time. It doesn't work like that. So you can't get me and Sandra to connect into Google and press enter, and we both load up Google at the same time, at that same minute. So you have to go down the route of speed, it'll be like, it'll load up me a split seconds before her, or her before me. But then when you've got a large amount of users accessing the internet, you then go down the route thinking, right, well, actually, the latency, if I had a server in the UK and I got somebody across from like Nigeria connected to my server, yes, it will connect, but it's going to take time. So maybe I should get a server in Nigeria. Maybe I should get a server in, let's say, for instance, in Canada or the US. And that's how we operate. If I was to connect now to Google, and I would connect to a local server in the UK, which was practically probably going to be, let's say, where I am. It would probably be somewhere like Manchester, Birmingham, or it would be based in an ISP exchange. It'd be a web server that would be based on the line or on the wire, and that would obviously pull information very quickly from the local server. So it's basically about customer experience. And this is the way that we operate in the world today. We don't understand the realization of how things operate, but what we just want to do is go down the route of saying, can I buy days in human nature? We don't go down the route of understand how things operate. We just go down the route of having it whereby
user interface. And I tend to build things to make things operational for people to use, but they don't really understand the background into how it operates. Do they need to? Well, really, yes, they need to, because eventually the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. And if you don't understand life, and you don't understand technology, and you don't understand the way the realization actually works, then it's fucked. And this is the problem we have in civilization. It is the internet. The internet's changing people's lives, but we don't understand how it's changing people's lives. And you know, it's we use all the words for abbreviations as well. So, for instance, you know, again, to be realization, you know, you look at the diary, you know, you look at not the diary, the dictionary, and you look at the word sex, sex. So you look at what the abbreviation to what sex actually what sex actually means, and it's intercourse between and a woman. And I know a lot of people won't agree with what I've just said there, because they'll be like, it could be a man and a man, it could be a woman and a woman. Anyway, let's not go into that at the moment. But yeah, it's if you actually look at the realization to what that actually means, is we've had to go down the route of building to keep civilization in the Western world, the Western world civilization. We've had to build these words that mean certain things. So, you know, sex is sex. It's spelled easy for anybody to understand. You know, why is sex sex? I don't why is that word such an easy word? I don't get it. Anyway, it's simple. It's a 3-letter word. If you actually look at all the different words in the dictionary, anything that's related to people like dum-dums, thick people that aren't able to educate themselves or haven't got the education, they'll learn the basic words, because sex is sex. It's simple. So that's how I've obviously understood the dictionary. They say to me about, obviously, Mike, what's your IQ level? And my IQ level, to me, I think my IQ level is extremely high. But if you went down the route of doing an IQ level test, then my IQ level will be extremely low, because what I don't understand is and what I don't believe is what an IQ level actually means. You know, you might get somebody who's obviously, you know, saying, you know, my IQ level is really advanced, but actually, to be fair, what is the advancement of doing an IQ level test to work out that actually, you know, your IQ is low, but then I'm building rockets, or I'm building computer programming, or I'm coding. My IQ levels of life is really, really high. So it's a bit of it's when you come across people that are thick, people that aren't able to really function in the world today, and they say, Mike, what's your IQ level? And they say, oh, my IQ level's this, and then they say, right, let's see your IQ level, Mike. And I might sit there and go, well, I haven't got the energy. They will instantly say that my IQ level is low because I'm not going to do an IQ level test. But then they go down there saying, well, actually, if you did an IQ level and it was low, then does that mean that you're more superior than me? No, not really. It's different. It's a different mentality. You have people that are sponges in the world that soak up information, and there's people that go down the route of seeing puzzles in a different way. So you might give me a puzzle, or you might give me something to work out, and I'll be able to work it out pretty quick. But then if you give me some like a book to read, to take in the information, and to go down the route to educate myself upon a book that doesn't mean nothing, then I'll be like, right, okay, I'll waste my time. But somebody might go down the route of saying, right, well, on page 59, it said X, Y, and Z, and I'll be like, well, that's pointless information that you've read out there. Like, why do you need to know a page number? So it's interesting how other people operate in the world today. But going back to the world of like sex, like sex, the realization what actually sex actually is not actually what actually people think it is. It's kind of like it's kind of like, do you know when we got like it's like an umbrella word. So it's like an umbrella. So an umbrella is kind of like one of those things that, you know, it protects the rain, and you know you put it above your head and it stops your head from getting wet. You find out that if you've got an umbrella company, you've got a brand, you've got a name that owns several brands underneath. That's what an umbrella company means. So when you look at the word sex is the umbrella, and underneath that umbrella, you've got different words for it. It's kind of like, you know, companionship, lovemaking, you know, intercourse. You know, there is a form of using other words like, you know, rape. Rape is a word underneath that umbrella of sex, because technically, you know, that's what it is. But then you look at obviously the definition to it. You then go down the route thinking, well, actually, okay, I now kind of like understand that actually maybe that shouldn't be under the umbrella, but actually it is under the umbrella. So we can't use that word because it's an awful word to use, and the definition to what it actually means is, you know, it's to you know, it's not very nice. But when you look at the bigger picture, it's a human but a biological time clocking thing. You can't change it. It's there. It happens, and yeah, it's the realization. We talk about things. I can talk about things because I can. I'm not, you know, I'm not regulated. I'm not going down the road saying, you know, I've not got a full-time job that has to go down the road thinking, Mike, I can't believe you did that. Imagine if I had a full-time job and was talking about this. I go into work on Monday morning and say, sorry, Mike, you lost your job. Why? Well, yeah, sorry, sir, but yeah. That's the mentality we've got these days. I can't lose my job. I haven't got a job. What do you do? Sorry. What, my manager is going to come to me and say, hi, Mike, how are you today? Yeah, good, yeah, we've brought you into the office because you did a live stream outside of working hours. And yeah, you were talking about certain subjects that we don't allow. So yeah, you've lost your income. And then somebody who's got a job maybe going over thinking, right, well, next time I go online, I won't say certain things. It's a form of control. And it's interesting, isn't it, how people get shut up for money. Like, I don't get paid. So straight away, if I don't get paid, the realization is life is about owning the board. The board that we're all playing is the Monopoly game. You know, Monopoly, chess, and snakes and ladders. And you have people like Keir Starmer, who's a snake. He's a slippery snake. You got people like me who's building the ladder and growing forward. For me, what I tend to do is I tend to on snakes and ladders. I'm basically the one that doesn't participate with the game, but I'm the one that builds the ladder. So I just add on. I just bolt on another section. I just bolt on onto another section. So what people do in life, snakes and ladders, is kind of like you go around the board. So you go across, up. You know, maybe I should get a team of people working with me. We'll play the game snakes and ladders, and I'll show you how to play the game properly. But if you own the board, which is the realization of life, then if you flip the board upside down, then no one can play the game. So that's what we do. We go down to parking where we want to park. So what, we get a ticket, and it's the realization of life because we just don't care. We get a ticket, we don't care. Why'd you get a ticket, Mike? Because I just don't care. It's just space. Like, who's governed that space? Who said that that's a road that someone should park down? Because the road that we're driving down is paid by the taxpayer. So why on earth do councils and governments have the right to then go down the road saying, well, we're going to put a white line around there and say, right, sorry, sir, you can't park there, or you're going to pay parking his car there and getting a ticket. And because we own the board. So straight away, it's kind of like, you know, parking tickets. Do you really think for 1 minute I pay all these parking tickets? I didn't pay them. I've got thousands of parking tickets from councils, privates. We don't pay them. The reason being is because we own the board. We own the board. So you know, it's mad, and I don't think people realise this mentality. So we get a ticket, we park it in. We just basically park on the side of the road. It's not on double yellows. We park it in a bay, and we park there. We get a ticket. We get the ticket, put it in the bin post. Yeah, we just don't have a driving license in the same name. We don't have the driving license in the same name as the car. So straight away, you can't get a CCJ. So we're on the board. So yeah, the realization is it's not like I'm parking illegally. I'm being unfair to the society. I'm parking in a bay, and I'm using a parking bay because that's what we do. So in the UK, we have this mentality that we pay parking tickets, and it's fear. It's fear. I've gone through years and years and years. And the realization is the police don't do anything. They don't do anything. They send you a letter. It's read. The scary thing about it is people fear. So we're driving down the motorway at 3 in the morning, driving about 84 miles an hour. We get a flash by a speed camera. We carry on the journey. A letter comes through the post. Were you the driver at the time? Ignore. Next one comes through about 40 days later. You haven't replied back to this. No, I haven't replied back to it. No. Ignore. Bin. They send 3 letters, and then they realise that they're not going to get anything out of it. Now, all they want is the general population to go down the route saying, I was the driver at that time. Bang. Ticket. That's it. They put 3 points on your licence. It's a form of control. They can't ticket unless they can confirm that you were that driver at that time. They can't ticket you. So straight away, look at the bigger picture. I'm not saying going down the route of saying, you should go, being unfair down the motorway at 82 miles an hour. Yes, I'm breaking the law, but the road's clear. Fine. But then I'm not driving past a school. Let's say during, I'm not even driving past a school. It's 40 miles an hour. And that's the difference, you see. The difference of people getting hurt on the motorway compared to people getting hurt, in civilization. It's a different league. The problem is, it's the facts and figures behind it. And they have to everybody into a group of saying, this is the law of the land. If you don't abide by it, then they have to put that fear into everybody because they have to. It's the same mentality as they always say. And this is obviously, again, a lot of people won't agree with this, and I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not saying that you should do this. But I'm age 36. So I've been single majority of my life. I've interacted with a lot of people. Like I've had a lot of mutual understanding and connections with different people. Now I've got kids. So how does that work? Are you telling me that if I have connections with females, I want kids, but also at the same time it is, how is that possible on the mentality that, like, if I haven't got kids, then obviously I've not purposely gone down the route of obviously having intercourse, either with somebody that I don't want to be involved with, or the second of all as well, is I've had intercourse with somebody that's, for instance, we haven't been wearing protection or going down the route of, using birth control. So there's no really understanding of life whereby kids should be a mistake. It shouldn't ever happen. Like, it should be one of those things that we're in a first world country now. We have the systems in place and the technology in place whereby it shouldn't be one of those things. I know a lot of our cultures and things, a lot of our cultures and religions don't agree with birth control and things, which is fine if that's how they want to believe in things. But for me, I go on a regular basis to be checked out, to make sure that obviously I'm clean. I'm clean and I'm clear cut. But at the same time as well is that if I haven't had kids and I've not obviously, and everyone I actually associate with, they go down the route saying, that there is a percentage that there's a high you might have a child if you don't wear protection or you don't use protection or have any sort of birth control in place. But as a male, as a man, if a man can control himself, then I'm sorry. But for me, I don't understand how it can happen. I don't understand how it can happen. But the problem is they have to say that to the populace. The populace of men can't control themselves. They've got no stamina. A large amount of women are actually like injustice, really, because, well, I would say injustice. That's probably not the word to use, really. It's more about having men who can control themselves and understand and actually go down the route of, a woman doesn't get pleasured at the end, like a man gets pleasure at the end. A man gets pleasure at the end, but it's about maintaining pleasure for your partner. It's about the understanding. So you look after a woman, you maintain her to a high standard, you cater for her, you look after her, you're a protector, you make sure that she's fed and watered, and feel like that she's in a safe environment. And really what it should be is one of those things that men should reconsider it. They should go down the route of looking after women to a level whereby they want the best for her. And it's not like that. And that's what I've established in the world today. A large amount of men don't care. They don't care about her. They don't care about her, obviously, you know, mindset, or they don't care about, obviously, what she's feeling. All they care about is they come in from work, they're tired, they know they've got a job to do, and it's kind of like, you know, 10 seconds, done sorted, thank you, bad, go in, and they roll in and go to sleep. And that's the mentality of the world today that we have. And it's a problem. It's a problem with civilization. And a man and a woman, they both get tuned when they have an encounter or they have an experience in the world today. Men and women get tuned together. They either on the same wavelength from day one, or you also find out that after you've had a connection or a partner, you tend to go down the route of a man. Every connection he has, a man changes, and the same with a woman. A woman's mentality changes as well. And there is this mentality whereby numbers count. Like numbers count in everything. You know, you drive down the road and you get caught speeding, you're gonna get fine tickets. You park illegally, if you park illegally, you're gonna get tickets. The more people you speak to and interact with on a daily basis, the more connections you're going to have, or meaningful connections you're going to have. And again, the same mentality is having intercourse. You don't get good at having intercourse without not doing it. So, you know, you've got to have that mentality. You know, let's say, for instance, let's say you get involved with a partner. Now, you could say to me, if you get involved with a partner, the same partner, you end up growing together, and you do grow together, and I get that. But the problem you've got to do is you've got to understand what that means long term. And I think a lot of men have to get things out of the system as well. Like a lot of men are programmed just to reproduce. That's how men are. Men are always programmed in everything. Males in, let's say, animals. You put a bull in a field with a load of females. The bull's going to go around the route of thinking to itself, like, you know, which is the most hot and sexiest female in the world. It ain't going to work. The bull's going to go to us and it's going to go down the road thinking, great, got 16 women here. The bull will just impregnate 16 women. Now, that's the realization of men in life today. Unfortunately, for men and women, that's what a man's programmed to do. He's programmed to impregnate. And you're not really, this is obviously, again, you're not really a man, are you? Unless you've actually impregnated. To be realistic about it. Like, this is, you know, people will disagree with me, and I get that. But until you've actually impregnated, you're not really a proper man. You're not really achieved a manhood or a man mentality, really, until you've actually achieved that. And that's the realization of life. Like, that's men. And women need to go down the route of finding a nice guy. A guy who is a protector. A guy that obviously is nice, who is respectful, who is decent. And unfortunately, a lot of women don't do that these days. They associate with people who are not good people. And I could go down the route of tarnishing a lot of civilization. But you know, if you want a man, for instance, let's be realistic here. If you want a man who's going to be with you for a long time, who's going to support you and live a long, you know, men and women live together. They live. If you get a man and a woman who are the same age, they tend to live, again, throughout both, from, for instance, like from 0 to hero. Men obviously last. Men don't actually last as long as women. But if you actually go down the route of looking at the bigger picture, my mentality would be for a man to meet a slightly younger partner. So let's say I'm 36. I'd much rather go down the route of meeting let's say a 29-year-old as a 36-year-old. That's going to give me 6 years to protect her. And there's a high chance, and that, you know, actually, I don't know, it's how it is. I think to be 36 years old, to have a partner who's 29 is acceptable. But anything less than that, it's not really acceptable. And I think, obviously, there is this mentality for men that younger is better. They always have that mentality. It always has been a thing. But the flip side to it is really my mentality is you want to be the opposite way around. And men want to go down the route of having a partner who he can look after, be happy and content with. But also as well as it's a fine line, because you'd much rather have an older woman who is. For me, I'd much rather have an older woman who is more, let's say, for instance, I'd much rather them pass away before me. Because if you think about the bigger picture, if they pass before me, then you could say, yeah, you're going to be a lonely old man. But that to me is what a man should like. A man should be the opposite way around than what a man obviously actually looks. A man wants the younger generation. He wants younger. But if you think about the bigger picture, if I got an older partner now, so let's say I'm 36, and I went, let's say, for instance, I found an older partner at age 40, the high chance of her passing away before me is what a man should have the mentality. Because you want to make sure that whatever you spend time with, you want to go down the route of make sure that they are catered for, looked after. I'd much rather be a younger person to look after the older generation than I would doing the opposite way around. And I'd much rather have my partner who is happy, content, and has a great lifestyle, and then passes away before me. So then when I pass away, it then allows me to think, you know what? I've done my due diligence. I've done what I was set out to do in the world today as a male. And that's the way it should be. So to have a male who's obviously age 36, dating a 40-year-old, or, marrying a 40-year-old, that's the way it should be done. And I think, the same mentality, it's from a younger generation age as well. It should be one of those things that always date, older. And I think if you have that mentality whereby a man always dates older, then it's two ways you look at it. You could look at it in a negative way, which is a sinister way, and you could go down the route saying, "Yeah, mate, but you're only in it for the inheritance." But it's not like that, really. You can't look at the inheritance, because that's like it's a man, like a good man is a protector in the world today. A good man wants the best for civilization, and it's. I'm trying to explain this in a sort of way that it's not going to piss off too many people, because people will go down the route clipping this. I know it, because they'll go down the route saying he said this and he said that and he said this. I think for a male to be lying on his deathbed and to look back at his whole life, because that's what a man does. He then go down the route thinking, I was born there, I grew up there, these were the connections I had here and here and here. I then did this for a living. I then went down the route of changing the world to the best of what I could do. I'm aged like 80 now. And yeah, my partner, I married. She's obviously had a good life, and she's obviously passed away. I'm now going to join her. And to have that as a mentality in life, you think to yourself, like, you know what? I can lie on my deathbed and say, you know what? I've achieved. As a male, I've achieved. And that's how it should be. And that's the realization of life, really. That's the realization of life. But the sinister look of the whole world is it's not. It's about men want younger. They always have done, always will do. It's always about having a younger partner. And women look at men with money. And it's, it's unfortunately the way it is. So, hey, Sue, put Mike on mute. Anyway, this is going to cold now. It's ginger beer. Ginger. Anyway, the car's outside. There you go. Love it. I'm in my King of the Castle chair today. This is my King of the Castle. This is me. And I need a hat to turn on now. Like a little crown. That's what I need now. That's mad, isn't it, when you look at the historical data? Mike, that's all a total bullshit. It's just really not. It's the realisation of life. Although I got loads. I might go upstairs and get a steak. Share steak for dinner. Mike, I wrote all that down. Pure gold. Well, unfortunately, I'm glad you listened. It's about education. It's about education. Got some colour changing lights here. Make it right as we leave. See my what's my palace? My palace. Fake curtains. Yeah, fake curtains. Go, Mike. Your bag's bleeping. It's Christmas already. I've got a Christmas tree on here, on the side. So, it's not very warm. It's not very warm. Anyway. Well, I'll say, it's my day done. It's a day of relaxation. It's moments like this, whereby on a daily basis, the amount of content about life I pump out will be every single day of the week. Oh yeah. Anyway, you're about to leave. About to leave. Thank you, Alton, for a free day. We haven't paid for this. That's all. That was literally all free of charge. Mad, isn't it? We just walked in, and then I came back and got asked for a towel as well, and she gave me a towel as well. Madness. You know what I mean? Look at this lift. It's a wooden lift. It's actually gone dark outside now. I'm gonna put my bag in the car, and then we're gonna come back and put bag in the car and get some. We're probably gonna get steak tonight, I think. We have to give him a bit of money. I feel a bit awkward actually, to be fair. Yeah. Well, the guy did say, didn't he? He said, Mike, you know what? We can't fit you in tonight in a hotel, but if you get a hotel down the road, which would be the Hilton, which we did do, we honoured it, and this is where we are. check my handset as well. Should be okay. Battery should be fine. Just check my other handset. Yeah, that should be fine. Just when my phone pings off now, it's kind of like, oh, Mike. I wandered through to the restaurant.
It's like a weird thing to tell me. Now I feel weird about it.
You got a steak? Hi, how are you, alright? Yeah, cool. Can I get a tape? Say again? Yes.
Do you have a booking, sir?
I don't know. Do I need a booking?
No problem. We can do it.
You've got a lot of you got a lot of tables here.
Yeah, no problem. We can do it.
Am I the only person here?
For now, yeah, because it just opened at 6. No, right?
Got you.
Are you staying with us?
Hey?
Are you staying with us?
I tried to stay last night, but couldn't stay last night because you had no rooms available. So I stayed at a different Hilton down the road.
Alright.
But I've come here today.
So you're not staying, basically not staying with us?
No.
Okay.
Is that okay? Oh, amazing.
Sorry.
I've rest my case.
Yeah, I was here.
So I don't really understand why they ask these questions, really, other than saying, sir. Like, they're asking if I've got a booking. Thank you. They're asking if I've got a booking, and actually, to be fair with you, it's not like they're short on space. They've got so many tables. I'm the only one in here, and it's empty. Can I say it anywhere?
Yeah, anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Do you have any non-alcoholic wine?
I don't think. They have only beer and cider.
Only beer and cider.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that all you have?
Yeah.
No.
Don't have wine.
You do have wine.
We have a sparkling wine, sir, if you like.
Oh, is that non-alcoholic?
Yeah.
That's amazing. If I can get a non-alcoholic wine,
Sparkling, yeah?
yeah, I'm driving. You see, so obviously I don't drink and drive.
1 glass?
It's just me.
A bottle?
Yeah, just one glass of. Yeah, I'm not greedy.
Okay.
Thank you. And then can I just get a steak?
Yes, sir. Which one you like? Ribeye or fillet?
The rabbi's fine.
Ribeye fine.
Yeah.
How would you cook?
Rare, please.
Rare. Any sauce for you, peppercorn, butter, or mushroom?
I have some mushroom actually.
Mushroom?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Would you like any cider also?
Any side fries or something? Okay.
Do you like sweet? Do you like sweet? Do you like sweet potato? It's like sweet potato or
No, just regular.
regular fries?
Yeah.
And what other fries you do? What other side orders?
Yeah, steak coming with seasoned veg, you like carrot, radish, and
Okay.
yeah.
Just make it happen. Yeah, just basically get some chips or something. Thank you. Madness, isn't it? Right. It's what I don't get. I'm sat in the restaurant. And it's empty. It's currently 7 o'clock on a Sunday. Like this should be rapingly busy. Like the lights are too bright. It needs to be dimmer. Like it needs to be advertised out on Google Maps as an independent restaurant, not obviously part of the hotel. Like the chefs are Like, you can't get down the route of having a chef in there who's an average chef. It's like, why the world's gone wrong? Are you telling me this? Are you telling me that this is not a massive, massive tax write-off? Like, you make a load of money in this country, and the owners of this, they send the money off to a different country. That's how it is. The UK's gone. That's the reason why how life works now. No British person, no British mentality owns something in the UK now. It's just basically we just import in. Thank you. Anyway. Cheers. Right, I've ordered a steak. Thank you. It's like people they're trying too hard in the world today. Like, imagine if I walked into a restaurant, or I own the restaurant, and imagine being the only person in the restaurant now on a Sunday. Like, have they really got bookings? Have they really got bookings? Well, the only time that I'd ever worry about bookings is if I got 6 bookings in already, and I was coming down to my last 6 tables. That's the only time that I go down the route of questioning it. But let's see if anybody else walks in. It's pointless. It's a pointless conversation to have. But it's the programming script. Hello, sir. Would you like to sit down and come to our restaurant? Great. And it's I'm on my own as well. And not many people come to a restaurant and just go and order a ribeye steak. They can't afford it. It's the realization of life now is changing. You got the poor and the rich are the rich, and the divide between the poor and the rich now in the UK is getting massive. Like, you can't change it. The problem I've got is the rich need to be very careful on how they eat, because, again, what you don't know and what you don't know behind closed doors happens. I could be drinking poison right now. I wouldn't know, would I? Imagine that. Sparkling white wine, it could be a glass of poison. I know it's quite dark and seedy, but unfortunately the realisation of life is getting like that now. Anyway. So order steak. I think the way that civilization in the UK is going, I'm going to have to go down the route, if I continue on the way this is going, is to go on the route of having somebody that tests my food for me. Imagine. Yeah. Order 2 steaks. Order 2 steaks and then swap it. Nice. Go to the spa and then having a glass of wine. Someone's just coming, can you squeeze it in? And they're going to set everybody around the if it's my restaurant, you position people away from each other about a conversation. So conversations can be had in private. It's like the average people. Try and push them all together. So that's how I see it.
You'll have some wine.
That is how you.
Thank you.
One thing I love about taking to a spa, being male, like your nails become pristinely clean.
Okay, no, that's
So that's going on. It's like mine's a live streamer. They position me around everybody. It's like brilliant. At least I can talk now because everyone else is talking. It's great. It was so quiet, Josh. So quiet. Anyway, my battery's about to die at some point as well. I should use my gimbal now as well. Yeah, we couldn't use the gimbal before because I was told not to. It's in the spa. She came over to me and was like, yeah, sorry, why you can't use that. Brilliant. Yeah. Much better. Much better. Yeah, that's probably, yeah. So, yeah, get another glass. Just noticed. Oh man, amazing! Thank you.
Some sketchup, mate.
That was incredible. Oh God. Yeah, I had to order it. It's my sleep tonight. I'm going through like a whole week of eating steaks. Just basically put on weight. Like, remember, we woke up today, and actually I checked the hotel actually last night, dinner away at what time was it? Like 2 in the morning. We basically ate 2,000 calories within the hour just by eating Hilton cookies. So Hilton cookie is like 480 calories. So I ate that, and then phoned up room service, and they gave me another 4. So yeah, it's mad really. So we ate basically 8-hour calories this morning. Then our breakfast in bed this morning, and then next minute this. It's yeah. But oh my God, it's amazing. Really. There's a lot of salt. A lot of salt. Anyway. Well, it's like a potato, but seasoned. That's what I love about life. Taking in like textures. sprouts. You can tell it's Christmas. Not like your typical. It's a bit like abstract. Sprouts with a steak. Anyway, just slashed it in. I can't say what I was going to say, but I'll say later. But remind me later. I'll tell you. Oh man. Test the steak, yeah. Steak, yeah. So the plate's so angled. Be better doing this. Be better doing this on a rutile black slate. What's the point? What do I know? Not a lot. Not a lot. Showing a smile. Right. I'm not sure what this sauce is, but
Can I do the ribeye, please? No, that's fine. The lamb chop with the mashed potato. And can we have a bottle of the Coke Rose, please?
I'm not sure I'm staying tonight. No, I haven't planned it yet. I've literally done nothing. I've been literally think about food, think about obviously my skin, and that's it. Should bring up the like peppercorn sauce, I think. It's like gravy. It's literally gravy, I think, with mushrooms put inside it.
Tells you everything. It tells you what shoes you should wear, what trousers, and it says in there when you chose what you should shop, over when you get on site, because the longer you widen that, the more likely you're going to use inside it. That's what people come and learn about. You're sitting on your menu. So, you said what you menu like, what shoes you on site.
Someone says it break my heart.
So what's the flavor in the morning?
The thing is this isn't actually what they saw it to be. I'm not daft. That's what it is now. How the world is so fake. The thing is, I can't understand why this place isn't busy. Oh, this should be place this place now should be really busy at this time on a Sunday. That's not them. That's what it is, I do this on a daily basis. I literally do it on a daily basis. Other people do this on a special occasion.
Oh, you got a big knee. You got a real knee. Only 2 glasses. What's
It's interesting when I asked for like a non-alcoholic wine. Sorry sir, we can't get non-alcoholic wine. Right. It's the uneducation side of things, like. Yeah, we only do beers and ciders and non-alcoholics. It's mad. Everything's fake.
Oh, that was I came out with an absolute gem. Well, he came out with an absolute gem, and we could not remember what it was. But we both burst out laughing. It wasn't quite as good as the balsamic from that Christmas. That was
Last time I came here, that steak was amazing. I'm quite upset with that steak. I won't lie to you. Wasn't all that. Well, last time I came here, amazing. Right.
bring a glass in. Our
But again, I rest my case. You know, it is a hotel. They're designed to have comfy beds. They're not specialised in cooking, are they really, I guess, so. No, that's what they hotel is designed basically for sleeping, and a restaurant is designed for eating. But do I know what's what we're eating these days? Is the question. When you think about alcohol being poisonous, because it is. It's mad. All the veg with pesticides all over it.
When you go in, there's no pressure. You know, and then you're right.
And then I'm back for 2 weeks, and I've got 5 days off, and then for 1 day, so I've got yeah. Well, I'll need to,
I get another
now we're in November.
we actually got bowl. Right. We get another glass of can I get another glass? Is that all right? Thank you. It's like he gets it, he understands. But she didn't. Right, it makes me think about life.
No, I am at home. I'll go traditional breakfast with them. But then I'm around. I'm on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Monday, and then Saturday, Monday, on Tuesday.
Maybe her head's not with it. Maybe she's got like family, kids. Maybe her job that she's providing is a bit of a hindrance to her life. Though with him, he's probably in a different mentality. Again, it's all speculation. Well, obviously, I don't know, do I? All I can do is sing on a mass scale. We see everything's on a mass scale. You start to understand.
A lot of companies aren't opening for the first because there's no point. They just start the whole business up again. So a lot of people fifth, was it? Because I remember before.
That's great, thank you.
Remember when I started?
That's awesome, thank you.
A lot of people started with it. There's a nice big Christmas Eve.
Not really a massive fan of potatoes, to be fair.
Then the one day, so it's like 4, 1, and 5.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's me done.
Yeah.
Still not many people. Yeah, the guy said to me, he says, have you booked? Imagine being booked for one.
Oh, the wedding.
Anyway, Zen. So he's been really cool.
Thursday, Friday off then.
Thank you.
Would you like any dessert?
I'll have a look at the dessert menu. Thank you.
I'll be working Friday. What time are you getting there?
No, but we'll have desserts. I might get coffee.
You will be there. We'll be in Hereford. I'll do it at
The reason why I asked for the dessert menu is because I'm intrigued to see what's on it, really. Leave back alone.
Yeah, so should we take this?
I think it needs to be the realisation. I'm a realist. I'm not being harsh or being nasty. I'm a realist. So, you know, I say things how they are. And if you don't believe me, then fine. You know, think that I'm very anti things, anti this, anti that, but actually, to be fair, yeah, a lot of people can actually relate to me, so. Just at a restaurant at the minute. Vodafone's dead.
I mean, even we came in May, and
Can't use Vodafone.
oh, they do, yeah. When we came before.
We came here last time, we had finance company.
That's amazing, thank you. So we've got the option of basically apple crumble. It's apple crumble tart. They had to have the tart on the end, didn't they? So then the next one's called vegan. So vegan warm chocolate brownie. Do you really need to put the word warm in? When you get over between vegan chocolate brownie. We've got avocado and lime cheesecake. They've got something called Mood in the Park jar. Mood in the Park jar. They can't even use caps lock. Like, this is the whole problem with civilization and life. I don't know if it's actually going to show you, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see how much it actually shows. Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, it's not going to show. Anyway. Right, so we've got the dessert menu. So even looking through now, yeah. Like, what's that? They can't even go down the YouTube using, you know, capital P. Is that a capital P? Nothing else is uniform. So it's all like, you know, not a caps lock. They can't use obviously the right English, and suddenly caps lock at the bottom. So either do the whole lot in caps lock or don't do it at all. Yes, there's again a discreet service charge of 12.5%. Discreet. Once you get down the road, just putting, you know, service charge 12.5%. Why is they going down the road into budget? As we're gonna fucking charge you anyway, so you got no choice with it. Everyone knows what VAT is. Any business who's large scale is going to have VAT applied anyway. So. It's what kills me about the world. The world's fake. Everything's fake. Like, you're not going to have a hotel that's not. You're not going to have it. The issue is, if you go to a cafe who's doing like little like coffees, yes, they're not going to be VAT registered. They're not going to be VAT registered. Like, that's just how it is. But when you come to any sort of like hotel or restaurant, of course they're going to be VAT registered because they're going to make over the 85 grand, you know, a year income. So yeah, there's a lot of this, you know, we need to publicise on there. It's mad. Guys, I want to get glasses. That's amazing, thanks. I'm probably going to leave it. It's fine, thanks. Appreciate it. to the bill. Should I send? Oh, that's going to take. Excuse me. Can I get the bill, please? But can I get a takeaway coffee, like a latte? Take to a takeaway.
Oh,
So takeaway coffee in the bill.
normal latte.
Normal latte, yeah. Thank you. Right, awesome. Well, let's work out what's playing on what the plan is tonight. Because I ain't got a plan, and there's no plan tonight. I can't even use my phone. There's no internet. Anyway.
He was so good. I didn't even. I said, that's good.
Just to show how good big pockets can be as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I didn't even feel that.
That's why, if you want to take my backpack, you can put all the things from the top all up.
I don't think I'm big enough. And I think the head.
I ate 5 cookies yesterday. I tell you, I ate my calories for the whole day in literally, 1 hour. Anyway, there's a lot of calories on it. There's a lot of calories on that dessert and things, but I don't eat desserts. I'm not more. People should eat more savoury than sweets, really, to be fair. Yeah.
The first time I booked it online,
Well, anyway, what do I know? Well, look at me. Look at my body compared to a large amount of other people. I rest my case. That's amazing. I pay on card. Is that right?
November and August.
Oh, right, okay.
£66. That's amazing. Yeah, just do 70.
Thank you. Okay, so I check.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I see.
Would you like to see?
Fine, thanks. It's all old school. Having an accountant now, old school. Imagine having an accountant that goes down there, saving you money. She doesn't save you money. She costs you money. That's the mentality of having an accountant on board. Doesn't work. Yeah, you pay her what? You have an accountant full time. She don't want at least £2,000 a month. What, should save £2,000 a month, or should it cost you £2,000 a month? Is what it is. The clever thing about business is when you look at small business mentality, you have to say, oh, you should have an accountant, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. We don't claim VAT back, can't be asked. That's the mentality we have these days. We just pay the VAT. It's not even worth claiming it back. By the time you've spent the time trying to authenticate it or try and make it all in a level order, you might as well work harder, bring more work in, and pay the 20%. That's how I operate these days. So yeah, all these people that say you should save money, make it. Spend more time making it than you would saving it. First of all, as well, is you think about the bigger picture. You're going to die at some point anyway. So what's the point? There's no point going down the route of trying to think, oh, I'm going to save, spend it. Bring in, use it, spend it. Bring in, use it, spend it. So. Anyway. No, thank you. That's great. Thank you. Awesome. That's my coffee. So I tend to drink more coffee, really. So when anyone has a dessert, I tend to have coffee because of, for one, it's just less, dessert's bad for you. Like anybody that eats dessert, it's bad for you. You might as well spend more money on savoury then you'll do buying suite. Anyway. Probably eat a microwave meal. Probably I've spent a lot of time in hotels, especially the Hiltons. I know all the back office politics. I know all the staff. When I say I know all the staff, I know how the staff operate. I know all the employment rights. So when you start to realise, you think to yourself, like, really, it makes you question if you'd ever eat. Well, again, if you don't do hospitality, then you think a restaurant's a restaurant. They give you the best food ever. They're not. It's a lie. All they want to do is get you in, give you all the shit, charge you a load of money, and fuck you off. That's what restaurants are designed for. A restaurant isn't to feed you well. A restaurant's there just to try and take as much money off you as possible we can. And if you go a restaurant as a steak, then that's the plan. That wasn't a good steak tonight. That was a really bad steak. It wasn't prepped. It wasn't what I would expect him. Especially for £66 as well. Interesting, isn't it? But I guess if you're average, you don't normally eat out. I guess, eating out, having this here, you'll be accepting of it because you'll be like, oh wow, that's a really nice meal. But actually, if you do it every single day of the week, you realise what's nice and what's not nice. So that's the difference between life. But it's interesting. It's like liquid lava. It's so hot. It's mad. Anyway. I think so. There's something else as well. I was going to say earlier today actually, but I didn't. But if you pay, that's it. If you pay for a service, you're more likely to get a better service by somebody who you're paying to do a very good job than you would do. So if you've got an electrician to come and give you a job, you're more likely to find out that you're going to have somebody who's going to do a proper job for you if you pay a decent amount of money for it, than if you went down the route doing it whereby it was on the cheap, or had a mate of a mate of a mate of a mate, a mate of a mate of a mate, a mate of a mate of a mate will go down the route of scamming it. Either stealing the equipment from his work. I've seen this happen. When I was back in the day renovating houses and things, we had people working with us, like plumbers and things and electricians. And they're just doing little foreigners. They were doing little foreigners back in the day for us. And they're like, oh, it's all right, I've got some 2.5 mil on the back of the van. Give us 20 quid. Give us 20 quid, you can have it. That's how it was. So when I found that, there's several times I thought to myself, you know what, if that was my business and that was what was happening to my equipment, people doing foreigners off the back end of my brand. It happens everywhere. You can't stop it. It's happening everywhere. It's human nature to take and steal. But an electrician would turn up. People like, that's all right, Mike. Got some electric. I've got some wire on the back of the van. Or he'll go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to the supplies tomorrow. I'll just go and buy it. It wasn't the fact that he was into the supplies to buy it. He was going to add it to his works company card to say that he needed it. Add it to their bill, and then basically come and give it and do a foreigner's job. And that's how it was. So he never bought the item in the first place, but he'd bought the item, and then obviously then it was added to their bill. Then obviously he just basically took 20 quid or 30 quid, or whatever it was, just whatever bit of cash he could get off the foreigner job. Corruption at its finest. But and the end of the day, you can't really get caught out by it, depending if it's 2.5 mil cable, etc., or anything like earth sleeving, or this is because I'm a qualified spark by trade. But anything really that I can just get away with, that's what they'll do. But if you get on the route buying a specific item, like for instance, like a high pub, you might get down saying, "We bought a high pub here. What's that for?" And the plumber will be like, "Oh, well, that's to store at this house. The client asked for it." Right, okay. Well, you didn't tell us, did you? So, but yeah, corruption. I don't think you can stop it. You can't stop corruption. Corruption is everywhere. Police are corrupt. Hospitals are corrupt. Businesses are all corrupt. The government's corrupt. Companies' house is corrupt. It's the problem. It's two-tier. Everything's all two-tier. And one day, you know, one day you'll get in trouble. And then when you find out who you're dealing with, you might find out it's, you know, it's different nationality. So yeah. Unfortunately, the British are held. To me, the way I see the British now, the British are now in jail. We are now in a mass jail in the UK. It's two-tier. So everyone gets away with things. British white people don't. They get prosecuted. And who's in the prosecution? Exactly. So that's what the UK is turned into now. It's just a massive jail. You can't get away with things. If you do get away with things, you get somebody that's going to come along and say, "Hang on, we're not happy with this," and they'll start digging in, and start accusing you of things you've not even done. Because they think stuff like, "Well, actually, you know what? It's a problem. It's a problem." But it's politics. It always has been like that. You know, it's the realisation of life. It just doesn't exist unless he's talking what? I'm facts, aren't I? I'm facts about the world and today. Do your research, dive into things, and then you realise, actually, you know what, Mike? You're actually pretty well bang on to most things you're saying here. Right, we're about to leave it anyway, surely. And my battery's about to die. Had a nice meal. I've got to say it because she's walking past. It was substandard, but yeah, I think I might make a change. I might go down the route of not having obviously gravy, and I might pop peppercorn sauce next time. I thought I'd change it, spice it up a bit. I was expecting it to be more red wine based. That's what I assumed. It'd be like a red winey based sauce with obviously mushrooms in. That's what I assumed, but obviously I was wrong. Again, gravy's cheap. So. I love how they made things so. I love how they made things so like OTT. We've got a plate with a serviette on top of it with a one like spoon. So fake, so fake. It's how I see it. It's when you spend your time around these places daily and you see customer service levels, you see how things are. When you've got the average populace, which are, you know, they've got a little shitty little kitchen in a small room of the house with a little drawer that pulls out, and they've obviously got the knives and forks, and they have to prep everything themselves and make it all themselves. Just to come down to a restaurant and sit there and be waited on. It's like a dopamine rush. It is a dopamine rush. But the problem for me is this: I don't get dopamine. The issue I've got with all this is it's not a dopamine rush because you saturate yourself with it daily. It's not special for me. This isn't, and that's what I'm saying. I just need to eat. The thing for me is I need to eat. So it was easy for me to come in here, spend 70 quid. I had something to eat. It's a problem. It's a problem resolved. I've eaten. Obviously, I need to eat, or else I'll lose weight. So, imagine going to the Hilton tonight and getting another hotel room asking for 10 times cookies. And eating my whole daily calorie with 10 times cookies tonight. Yeah. So, we did 5 cookies yesterday for 2,500. So, 2,400. But anyway. So yeah, if we double that, we'll take our calorie intake in 2 hours. I don't know how I can do it. Eating 10 cookies, I struggle to eat 5 cookies. So eating 10 cookies, I'm sure I could chug it down if I really had to. But anyway. Right, we paid the bill. 4 out of 10. Tonight was poor. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was poor. But I'd much rather them, they gave me, personally I'd much rather have a roof tile, a black roof tile with a stake on it, and had a few like 3 or 4 chunk chips. That there would be much better than it would be a bowl of chips. And to season the chips as well in salt. So, but anyway, you can't change it. Don't want to change it, not really. Let's move on. Life for me is about leveling up. So every single day of the week, we got up today, had a banana this morning. That's leveling up, and then eventually we're going to be in like spending a lot of time in expensive hotels. So man, I'll drink it. It's too hot. How to get attention? Just wear sunglasses. I mean, that's it. That's how to get attention in a restaurant. Everyone's like, what the hell? Who is that guy? Thing is, do I care? Not really. Should I care? Not really. It's muddy, isn't it? The dynamic change between like sunglasses and no sunglasses. You wear a branded t-shirt or you wear branded sunglasses. You might as well not wear a branded t-shirt. People spend thousands on t-shirts and designer t-shirts. We just wear black t-shirts worth £3. It's mad, isn't it? Thing is I don't see the point in wearing clothes because the problem is in my head it's like if I couldn't get away with it, if I could get away with it and didn't get arrested, because obviously the thing about getting arrested, I've been arrested a few times now, but the thing about getting arrested is it's just a ball ache. So it's one of those things that like it's a lot of paperwork, a lot of headache, a lot of time spent talking about pointless stuff when actually I should be pushing forward. It's quite a large amount of legal matters tend to just basically leave and just hand over to somebody else because I haven't got time to sort them. But yeah, if I had the option, I wouldn't wear clothes. There's no point. You have a shower, you wash yourself. You got to keep yourself clean. And then you got to then wash some clothes. And it's kind of like, so you got to wash yourself on a daily basis, and you got to also wear clean clothes every single day of the week. It's pointless. You might as well not wear clothes. It's one less thing to do. But unfortunately, we have this mentality in the world that we can't. So yeah, it's all about money. If I Google what the clothing industry was worth, that's the reason why we wear clothes. If you Google about the beauty industry, that's why women wear beauty products on their faces every single day of the week. It's mad, isn't it? It's worth millions. So when you look at cosmetics as well, when you go to cosmetics, you tend to go down the route of, when you go to cosmetics, they're just very good salespeople. Very good salespeople. So if anyone wants to go to have any like medical work done to their face and things, or to the body, they can sell whatever they want. They can sell this dream. They can sell whatever they want. They turn up, you get naked, yeah, no problem at all, your boobs are saggy, yeah, we can make this happen, these are the pictures it's going to look like after. Like, sell it, easy, sorted. Within 3 seconds, you already made that decision in her head. Fine. Then you see the differences. Then it's kind of like, well, actually, sometimes the operations don't just take one sitting; you have to do 2. So it's kind of one of those things. it's the damage spent to the mental health aspect. When I say mental health doesn't exist, it's another humans causing this traumatization to somebody else. So what you find out is if you have any cosmetic work done, you always have to have one sitting first, and then you have to come back on the second sitting. It's like having a dentist, a root canal. You go and have your first seating first, and you go down to the root having your second seating. It's how you can add value to something that's growing forward. When actually you can actually, if you pay privately, you can have the root canal done in one sitting. But once you go through the operation, it's kind of like you've started, you have to finish it. It's just more money. Same with cosmetics. You put one thing on your face first, and then you have to put another thing on your face. And over a period of time, it changes, and then you have to put more and more and more. It's the constant buy. Like my ex-partner, she had about six to 8 different bottles that she would do for her skincare every night of the week. I said to her, like, that's 8 or 9 bottles that you're carrying around with on a daily basis just for skincare. She's like, yeah, but being a woman, you need to do this. I was like, what? Sorry, sweetheart, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't date you and see you because of how you looked. It was your personality. Well, anyway, that's what I said to her. Yeah, she didn't like that comment. I think I can't remember now what I said to her. I think I said something like, so you could be ugly and I still be with you. I can't remember. I think it was more like the ogre. I think I said something like, you could be princess. Yeah, you could be princess Shrek, and I'd still date you. And she did not like that. Anyway, obviously I wasn't quite as corrupt as what I said before, but yeah. Anyway, probably why I'm single actually, to be fair. It's why she said, Mike, you can't say things like that to me. What I want to do, fake it. Yeah, okay, I'll fake it. Yeah, you look sweet. You look beautiful tonight, sweetheart. Yeah, that dress really suits you. Yeah. Don't worry, you don't need to lose weight. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I can lie about it all. The problem is I'm just not a big a liar. That's the issue. Like, anyway, would you really say sorry, sweetheart? No, it was just basically a throwaway comment. It was basically a throwaway thing, really. I don't apologise, really, to be fair. Like, I don't apologise. The reason why I don't apologise is it's not that often that I'm ever in the wrong. Quite factual, very factual. I said to one of my members of staff a while ago, I told her she needs to lose weight. So she works for me as well, and yeah, she needs to lose weight. I just told her. I just said to her, when she started working for me, I said she wasn't as big as she is now. I said, you need to really consider going forward. And obviously, yeah, she obviously didn't like it, but I think she got more respect for me, to be pretty honest about things, than try and say, try and fake it. Yeah. Anyway, I think now she's realising she's gone too far now. Well, that's the problem. When people put on weight, sometimes it goes too far. Let's try and pull that too far. It's hard work. It's not easy. It's like going to the gym and maintaining it. Once you've got a body to a level you want it to, you've got to maintain it. And if you don't maintain it, you lose it again. So, for me, I'm not into the more steroids. People said to me, go into the gym, build up, get steroids, and I'm like, nah. I'm happy as I am. I'm happy being content. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So, there you go. You need to go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. Well, the reverse psychology is maybe you're talking about yourself. Maybe you're not happy about yourself. You're insecure about yourself, so you put your insecurities on somebody else to make you feel better. So remember, I do a lot about psychology. I understand reverse psychology. I understand human natures. So there's not a lot that you can't do for me to know who you are. What your backstory is. Chap, 3 letters. Anyway. I'm sat in a restaurant being civilised. Is that right? My phone's about to die in a second. Anyway. I need to do the toilet as well. Anyway. Can I say what's it all about? That. It's all about money. Life's about money. It's interesting sight is looking around the room. Just people. People watching is what I love doing.
Oh God, I'll have to drink beer.
Anyway. I thought it was the Magnum. It's not now. Actually, if you look at the logo, it's not. It's not the Magnum logo. We've basically custom made it. It just shows that a brand doesn't really mean nothing until you build it. So you put a lot of energy, a lot of building into it. I put a lot of work into a large amount of my brands. Even like the True Game, the amount of energy I put into that, and that's just been taken away from me within seconds. It's kind of like really, like that's been. It's funny actually because of the TTS. Sorry, not TTS. Sorry, the True Game was actually the realization of life. But it just shows that when things get taken away from you, it's how you respond to that. I'm going to sit there and cry about it. I'm going to go down the road saying, "Oh my God, I've lost my whole income. I can't do this. I can't do that." Life, things go. Things come into your world. Things go in life. Nothing's set. Businesses start. Businesses disappear. You get bought out. So it's all interesting. So yeah, we've lost the True Game. It will come back. I'm hoping. It's been handed over now to a legal team now. Who will just it's a solicitor basically. He will just basically fight until I get the True Game back now. So, and if I do, guess what? I might win. But we'll see. We'll see. And someone says, "Fuck it all, go get Domino's." I'm mad, I say. So. Mike, stop pretending. What do you mean pretending? It's age 36. So yeah, I've worked a lot of my life to get to this level in life.
Because by knowing more
So if you're looking at my kit, if you think about the amount of kit I own, you think about the amount of assets and fixed assets. Look at my lifestyle on a daily basis. I spent how much last night? £140 on a hotel last night. Obviously, car insurance. Even for me to get from where I've been from one hotel 4 miles away to here, it's cost money. And then obviously we spent a lot, 65 quid or £77 on food. We get a hotel tonight again. Like, you try and live my lifestyle, you can't. It's too expensive. It's expensive. So yeah, live my lifestyle and turn to me and say, I'm not a millionaire. And then say, okay, great, we get it now, Mike. Obviously, you work out the maths behind it. How much is a hotel room per day? 365 days in a year. He stays in hotels majority of the time. Okay, there might be the odd night I might not, but majority is hotel based. Central London, £200 a night. It's not cheap. So, Domino's. I did have a Domino's last week, yeah. It's because of I did long hours, and I have to eat. The reason why I stay in hotels is first of all for my security. Like honestly, if I had a house in a small town or small city, like Manchester, it's a small city. You only have to say something out of alignment with what somebody believes on the internet, and next minute, people are unfair. It's the issue we got. It's even getting to the sort of stage whereby in certain towns and villages now, when I say certain towns and villages, I mean more like cities-based lifestyle. Trick or treat is becoming a big problem because of people don't care. So you knock on someone's door, if they don't answer, right, okay, they basically abuse them. If they answer and they go down the road doing trick, they end up finding out that they get some sort of like petrol bomb put through the letterbox. Every meme starts with something. It starts off small. It starts off as a bit of like playful, a bit like childish behaviour, but it gets serious. Everything gets serious, and it's about leveling up. People level up. People level up all day, every day, and I see it all over. Would you go to Birmingham, and would you go to Birmingham and spend time in a house in Birmingham, being outspoken? No chance. No chance. And the reason being is they only had the Smithfield family. The Smithfield family on Facebook, they live streamed their life. They live streamed their life completely. And look what happened to their house. It's a shame, isn't it? They're actually a decent family. The way that they've done it is they've become quite famous because, first of all, the name is Smith. It's a standardised British name. And also as well as they're nothing special. They're just a family. They're just a family. They've got daughters, kids. They live a normal lifestyle. They do little pranks and jokes on each other, and it's what the British mentality is. But to find out that somebody goes down the route of being unfair to them and actually going down the route of trashing their, basically putting traumatisation into their life, they kind of done it for a bit of a laugh and joke. They've done it as a bit of a serious thing to say, right, well actually, this is what they're like online, but let's change the dynamics online. That's what they've done. So yeah, one night they basically set fire to the house. It could have been life or death. It could have been life or death. Luckily, it wasn't death for them. But that's the reason why I stay in hotels, because I'm not got the mentality. If you come head to head with me, there's two things that will happen. I'll take the decision that I'm at risk, and within milliseconds I'll realise if I'm at risk, and then obviously the dynamics at that point will change. If I'm at risk and I feel like a threatened, I'll give warning to say, give me space, back off. And there's only a few warnings you get given me, few warnings, and then that's it. You have to be, the only reason why, when I was younger, I got involved in martial arts, got involved with street fighting, and it's the only thing that I got as a bit of like a secret weapon to protect myself as a person, and it's the problem. If it is a man on man, it's different, but when you got a man on two, when you've got 2 or 3 people against one person, that's not fair. So that's why I spend a lot of time around, not in any locations, traveling around. Because when you put yourself online and you're outspoken, people get hatred for you. So, especially with some of the things that I speak about as well. So that's mad. So yeah, there's one thing I will always say to anybody is to get some sort of understanding of life behind them. And protection is a big thing, really. I personally think every male should do martial arts, but I think it should be done in such a manner that, I think it should be done in such a manner that it's done for self-defense. So, but again, it's more about reaction, really. It's about quick. It's about speedness. It is about speed, really, than anything else. So that's why Tommy Robinson is pretty on it, because you want to go head to head. You want to go head to head with him. It's like I was in a fuel station a couple of days ago, a week ago, in a fuel station, and this guy's parked in front of me, and I parked behind him. Comes up running up behind me, like. So obviously, you know, when a male is walking down the road and he hears footsteps behind him, running up behind him, what's he going to do? He turns around quickly. Like, and that split second is, again, the moment whereby he'll assess the situation. And that's how reality is. Unfortunately, females don't see it like that, but males do. The first thing a male does, sees another male and says, I'm at risk. That's the first thing he does. And he'll soften the blow. He'll either try and soften the blow to work out if he's at risk or not. If he feels he's at risk, that's what male to male is. Mike, when did you come out of the closet? I haven't come out of the closet. I've had more partners. I've had more female partners than a lot of men have. The Fox. Well, unfortunately, the Fox was struggling. It's mad, isn't it, when I think about obviously people that actually fight for a sport. It's all based off gambling. That's what it's based off. Branding. It's all about branding and gambling. So. Right, we're gonna go. My phone's about to die as well. We're on 1%. Right, we're about to die on 1%. Thank you. Anyway, if my phone dies, I'll be back online in about an hour. No, I won't. Back online within seconds. That was the restaurant that's empty. Yeah, it's mad, it is, isn't it? I mean, I actually know where the toilets are, actually. I actually know where the toilets are in this place.